And when you think about that list, if a person's feeling vulnerable versus feeling angry, while both of those may roll up to anxiety, what you would do about them are very different. So I talk about, you got to locate it, you label it, and then you learn from it. Locate where is it in your body. This gets you more in tune to the internal instead of the external, which may be causing it, the anxiety. And then you label it with one of those 8: sadness, shame, disappointment, helplessness, frustration, anger, vulnerability, embarrassment. And then you learn from it. What is it there to tell you? And the idea is you let those emotions run through. And I'll talk about that in the emotional reset. Now, the other day, or the other live, I talked about how transformation and anxiety are very similar. Not that they are similar, but they have similar, the signal behind them is similar. So what we have here, this is transformation. We're going along in this steady state, and then we want to break out. But to break out is very hard because you have this barrier here that you get all this cognitive dissonance. And the cognitive dissonance has a signature like anxiety. It makes you feel like something's wrong. What's the next shoe to drop? This is where people get it, this idea, don't talk about it because you might jinx it. And this barrier consists of old habits, stories, patterns, limiting beliefs, maybe even success, where you had so much success doing it a certain way. You know, you hear players, sports players becoming superstitious. They have to wear a certain color sock on big games because that's how they win. Or they wear a certain headband because they won with that headband. And so sometimes success even gets locked in there. And then anxiety is when we go down below this zone and trying to get back up. But what's interesting is what I'll talk about today is that when you think about anxiety, so we still have this zone and we're going along just fine, everything's working, and then this external event happens. Now, we're not trying to transform, we're not working on going up here, right? We're not doing that. And we're not talking about going down here, but what's going on is this external event happens, whether it's geopolitical, and in his book, Changing World Order, Ray Dalio talks about 5 kinds of wars: military war, which is the obvious one, but then there's trade wars, capital wars, geopolitical wars, and technology wars. That's 5. And then he adds another 2 on as sort of an afterthought with culture wars, which are internal to the country, and also so culture wars, and I'm drawing a blank on the other one. Oh yeah, just civil unrest. So cultural wars and internal conflict. So you have, the point is we have virtually every one of those in the US. We have each one of those wars is going on to some degree. Trade wars, yeah, the tariffs, the military war, well, there's bits and pieces, there's some global conflicts going on, we're getting involved here and there. Then you have the geopolitical war, certainly we've got countries going back and forth, going against each other. And then you have the technology wars, look at the AI companies, they're, I wouldn't say fighting against each other, but you do have this race to AI and this problems with the chips, and you've got countries competing against each other with the technology, and then of course the culture wars and the internal conflict, the left and the right, the etc. So all of that is coming in. That could be this event that happens.